All right, so here's a quick and dirty Pandoc-based CMS. So I'm using Pandoc because I like the Pandoc Markdown. It gives me a couple more options in regular flavored Markdown. The biggest one is fenced Markdown code, I think it's called, where I can have a div that I can say in Markdown, this is a div, and then there'll be Markdown in there, and it will render it properly in the PDF. This all started, by the way, with rendering PDFs, and I've since taken it to, I need to make a documentation website with it. So anyway, here it is. It assumes a couple things. We've got a directory uh, for each of the sections we're going to have in our documentation. So right now I've only got point of sale and product management, and I've got another test one called one. But anyway, these are the two that I've really been using. Point of sale is the one that's actually got some documents in it, so when I run the test, you can see it. There's a corresponding file in the MD directory. This is where I'm keeping my Markdown files. So all these are actually documents. Uh, they're going to be full-fledged documents when everything's said and done. This is just kind of a this just kind of has a subtitle in it, and it's for one of the steps that I need that. Um, so anyway, then what else do I need to talk about? Oh, so it makes a what it does is it makes a PDF that you can download, but it also makes the website that's going to give you the links to the PDF so that if you're in a browser, you can look at it that way, or if you want to download the PDF, you can look at it that way. Creates the menu, the navigation menu, the whole shoot match. This is what does it, is this script. First, it lists what's in the Markdown directory and finds directories. So it should only spit out one POS and PRM. And then it takes those and creates a table of contents in the HTML, the corresponding HTML directory. So it'll create one called TOC, should be POS-TOC, creates it in here. Um, and then it finds all the Markdown files in that same directory, except for that last one I said, Z subtitle one, and then puts them in a format that I can then run in this next command, which is this is Pandoc turning it into, it goes from Markdown to a PDF, and it's using this default HTML template, which is out in the templates directory. This one is default, so it's going to be using that one in this instance. And it grabs the PDF style sheet because first I create the PDFs, and style PDF is out here. It uses that TOC to create the table of contents, and then it takes the file out of the Markdown, puts it in the HTML directory, and then what is it doing here? Oh, this is grabbing the subtitle out of the thing. This is for the table of contents in the HTML directory. And then it's creating the PDF, and then the next step is it's only making a table of contents, and this is for after the PDF's done. This is for the actual website thing. And then this is creating the actual individual web pages. This command is, so it's running another Pandoc command. And then it's overwriting the PDFs that get used. It's overwriting the HTML that got used to create the PDFs because I don't need them anymore. And then it's grabbing the name of the file and it's going to put a link in the HTML page so that you can download the PDF. And then this right here is just finishing up the unordered list nav menu on the HTML page. And then, by the way, this is all happening locally. I'm running a Linux box. You can do it in Mac. I would imagine there's a way to do it in Windows. I just don't know. This is pushing it up to a web server, which I have mounted under a local directory. This is just an EC2 instance I fired up and made into a web server real quick. But what you probably would want to do is have a repository of HTML files, Markdown, maybe the whole shoot match, but it would then push those HTML files to your web server. And what it does is when it's done doing all this, it asks me, do I want to do it again? So let me run my script. By the way, this is on the live site. So there's a point of sale directory, but there's nothing in it. And this is locally, I've got my Markdown point of sale, but I've got nothing in my, other than the index. I had to write this. I'll show you this too while I got it open. This has just got the header and the footer, and it's including that one of those menus that I created in the finished HTML file. So let me get this out of the way. This is going to ask me which directory I want to grab. I'm grabbing the POS directory out of the Markdown files, and then it's going to start making stuff. So see, it's already started making HTML files and PDF files. And then when it's done making those, then it'll recreate the HTML files. And it's already done doing that. And now it's sending them up to the web server. So up on the web server, I'm at the main page, which I had to make by hand. And then each of these points to one of the folders. So I go into point of sale, and it automatically knows which files are in there. It made a file for each of these. This is the point of sale that's getting included on the point of sale. This is the table of contents that's getting included in that PHP file. And so then it takes me to the documentation. And if I want, I can download a PDF of that documentation, which looks pretty similar. A little bit of different navigation and whatnot, but anyway, that's it. So now all I have to do moving forward is create Markdown files and then just spit them up and it'll automatically make websites for me.